John Culture sent to voice the 12th Doctor Big Finish. This is the thing I'm most excited about in terms of Doctor Who in 2026. New 6-part series, Run Fast, Be Kind, fills the gap between before Capaldi's final TV season. Culture known for his roles, including the Brigadier and the Master. Not enough Master. I wish he would do more Master. So this 6-part run is called Run Fast, Be Kind. Is set between the Christmas special, The Husband River Song, and Return of Dr. Mysterio. Filling the lost years gap before Capaldi's final season in 2017. Yeah, there's like most of his run you could do there. This is the best we're going to get since Capaldi will not be returning his role anytime soon. Yeah. Culture is no stranger to the World of Doctor. Yeah, we know this. Prank called Tom Baker. Brigadier, was it? In the last years, he's appeared in various roles in Big Finish, including voicing the Brigadier perfectly. 2 incarnations of the Master, played by Delgado and Ailey. Not enough of them. But his Delgado and his Ailey are both perfect. Right? They are Chameleon. We kind of made his own voice for that. And now the 12th Doctor. Here, I think we have they put out a. Let me look at the Big Finish YouTube channel. I think they put out a sample, which didn't actually fill me with hope. But let me have a look. If it's not here on their YouTube channel, I'll check on their Twitwats, right? Dalek Attorney, no, okay. Fine, we'll go Big Finish. Big Finish. Hang on. I definitely saw on one of these. If it's not here, do I have to look on their Facebook for this? No, I don't understand why this wouldn't be like a pinned tweet or something like that. Star Cops, no thank you. 12 Days of Christmas. I definitely saw this recently, so it can't be that far back. No. Oh, to December. No, really? Where is it? Okay, then it's Facebook then. Somebody sent me a link to it. I think it's over here. Hang on. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Here. Now I've got to find now, how do I download this? How do you download shorts? Okay, fine. I'll just go to YouTube downloader. Let's see if this will do the trick. Where am I going? Over here. Yeah, I should have this. I had this little like downloady thing built into it. There's a picture of a pineapple here. I think that's the channel. It's not on. Okay, no, we'll stick here. Okay, let's see if it's actually. Let's see if this works. It's thinking about it. So it takes 10 to 15 seconds to download. Okay. No. Let's try that again. I just got pretty. Okay. Oh, I think it just downloaded. Okay. Where are we up to? Got it. Video file.
I will try to ensure that nobody finds her again. I will make sure it works this time. She doesn't deserve this. You humans poking and prodding around.
She doesn't deserve it.
She didn't come.
I had to tell you, this is not as good as I hoped it would be.
I'm looking for you. You came down here. You drilled a hole through the wall. You scared her. Remember that.
Look, this is something that's going to be sold on this strength of the story, right? If the story is told well, then I'll be up for it, right? If not, not. I mean, it's really the bottom line. Yeah, see if I can find that. I think I got a Ian Levine video as well. Hang on, go there. Doink. Will this download Facebook videos as well? Just to find another download. Let's see if it'll go. It's thinking about it. Maybe it's going to work. I don't know. We're thinking a bit too long though. I think I've got to do a Facebook video download. Facebook video downloader. Doink. This thing work? No, it's totally confused it. Here, this will do a trick. Download. Fine. So Ian Levine, everybody's favorite Benton. I think the only Benton. Just put out a video message. Apparently his birthday is on December 24th. I did not know.
Hello everyone, I've just landed my Spitfire and I've just come on to say a quick hello to all of you. Now, I know some of you had a rough Christmas. I don't mind openly admitting I did. I've had a bit of problem with my hip, like most of
I'm sorry to hear that, John. I'm sorry.
People do, but I've had the warmth of my home and the warmth of the friendship I've had with people that have backed me all of my life. Katie Manning phoned me on my birthday, Christmas Eve. But what I really want to say is the most sincerest thank you to each and every one of you, lady, man, old, young. The love and the beautifulness that you give we Doctor Who actors is something that nothing else can give you. It's kind of like love mixed with wonderfulness.
I don't know, maybe it's not really working for me. But it's nice, right? It is nice that he gets so much power, from Doctor Who. The Doctor Who love. I frankly deserve it. I'm sorry. Listen, I know you were an extra. You got a job as a Cyberman, and next thing you know, you were a speaking part. Benton, a beloved part of many of our childhoods. We all wish you well, mate.
Watch these beautiful science fiction shows. We are the dreamers of dreams. And we're the dreamers of dreams because without the dreams, this reality can become a little rocky. Now, you all know that I'm getting old now. I'm 85.
I can't argue with you, mate. Without the dreams, that's been one of the big problems over the last 10 years. Right? We've had our dreams, our relaxation stolen from us.
For now, Christmas Eve. Seen a few things, done a lot of things. But being in Doctor Who, playing Sergeant Benton, I watched myself on You and Eden, of course, all over Boxing Day. My grandson and my son visited from New Zealand. First time in 15 years I've seen them. And to think they walked in and my TV show, my Doctor Who's were on all over. I felt so chuffed. So, really and truly, be kind to people. I want to thank Ken.
It's a bit, you waffled on when there's a soft edit in your Christmas video.
Edens, Alex Moore, Gregory Zender, and all of the people that have been so kind to me. I know I'm a slightly serious person, but having watched my own self on my own episodes of Doctor Who over Boxing Day, The Time Monster, The Three Doctors, Inferno, I wasn't as bad as I thought. So I want you to know that even at my age now, the joy I have at anything Doctor Who related makes me so happy.
And honestly, that just makes me happy. It really does.
I'm going to wish you all the very best of luck. Be kind and stay warm. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Be kind and stay warm. Very, very good advice. Very good advice. Aaron Doherty addresses those 16th Doctor rumors. Aaron Doherty, who was in The Crown, Adolescence, 1,000 Blows. Right? And she was okay in 1,000 Blows. But that show didn't really... I didn't bother watching the final episode. Right? But her name has been connected with it. Honestly, it's A, because she's a woman, and B, because she's a slightly different, interesting actor. Play the name and impresses Doctor's lineup. I've heard Doctor Who rumor, and I'm into science fiction and fantasy, but I can honestly say there's been no discussion. Yes. Of course, in a post-Andrew Garfield world, every rumor is a possibility until her name was officially announced, because Doctor Who would be a great choice. Yes, she would if they hadn't failed completely with the female Doctor. Right? The complete and total failure of a female Doctor, I think, is a reasonably big deal. Frankly, I'm sorry. I don't think you can really sugarcoat that and get rid of it, right? I really don't. Yeah, that was tell you, mate. In October, we learned that Davis will be writing Christmas specials. I've been persuaded to stay. Here we go again. Away in danger. Jingle bells. Silent blight. Hark the weeping angel sing. Oh, come we, Nyman. Months later, in an interview in Radio Times, Davis was revealed that his current commitments were preventing him from writing the special. Not a moment. What? What's that? Revealed his current commitments were preventing him from writing the special. Not at the moment because I'm busy walking around the sea, but I'm also shooting a new show, Manchester Tiptoe. So next year my plate clears. We'll get to work on that. However, Davis made it clear that he's not going to be writing the special cold. Adding, I know exactly what happens. Don't worry about that. Well, we do worry about that, mate, because you haven't been very good of late. Right? In Doctor Who Magazine 6 minutes, David dropped a tease about the specials. Doctor Who 12 Days of Christmas. 12 months of waiting. Next Doctor, I'll be here to trumpet and to about in 2026 special. It contains the 3 words, Bafflers, Winter Knocks, and Village. I don't care. Shortly after, Davis shared that the big wigs of the BBC liked what he planned. Yeah, we're going to make it gay and put a chick in it. We haven't even started work on it yet, Davis revealed to BBC Newsweek regarding the Christmas special. I know what happens, but I better write it down soon in case I get run over by a bus. Please. No need. I understand Davis didn't get into details, partly because he hasn't written yet, but partly because he's not going to spoil anything. They're still a year away. He left the BBC highlights with jaws agape, loving it. Yes, because they were probably getting a blowy from shooting, right? Despite the leaked images, that was just stupid, right? That was just stupid. Top 2 Rusty Davis are the best and worst showrunner. Well, that's true. How long is this? Okay, we'll read this. Where are we up to? There's so much reading about the future of Doctor Who, with fans blaming Rusty Davis for the creative choices in the Disney Plus era. Well, he was the showrunner, right? He ran the show. They were his choices, and they were all stupid, right? It creates a lot of clickbait. What, you mean like regenerating in Billy Piper? As they villainized Davis for becoming the hero who brought the show back and then became the villain for staying around too long. Well, I thought he'll do it again, but again, Shooting Cat was shit. It was really just Rusty Davis had a hard-on for him. And that was really it. He can still write funny, witty banter and wears his progressive activist heart on the sleeve. Yes, that's the fucking problem. Right? The world's moved on away from that bullshit. Which put him out of step with the current anti-inclusive culture. It's not anti-inclusive culture wars that have engulfed pop culture in the West End. No, you've guessed. Look, the DEI bill has become due, right? And people just are not interested in it, right? You kept essentially. The entertainment industry's role was to entertain us while reflecting our society. What they tried to do was shape our society, and they failed massively, right? They really genuinely failed massively. Granted, he may have leaned too hard into too many bad habits and rushed writing lately. Yeah, it was also shit, but which ironically made him both the best and worst showrunner Doctor Who could possibly have right now. Just the worst. Partly because it's very hard to find his replacement. I don't know. Well, finding the replacement that work with the current BBC, who are awful. It's journalists to attack a man who succeeded in not only bringing Doctor Who back twice from oblivion. Oh, why was it in oblivion the second time? You told me it was the best thing ever with Jodie, right? You said it was doing fantastic. No, after all, when he revived the series back in 2005 and made the rating success, to the surprise of everyone, including those inside the BBC who assumed it would be a career-ending disaster, he made the series appealing to female viewers by emphasizing the more emotional storytelling and a lot of stuff was. Made it well. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But by the way, I was reading Warren Ellis's Planetary from the beginning over Sabbath. I was trying to, and so one thing that really annoyed me in it is the very 90s, early 2000s Buffy-esque dialogue. Oh God, that was everywhere at the time. That's one good thing Battlestar Galactica did. Get rid of that Buffy-esque banter. Oh. Being a companion, important part is the Doctor, Rose Tyler, beloved character Billy Piper on the map, blah, blah, blah. He set the tone for the modern iteration. 20th century, Stephen Moffat ran with it. Chris Chibnall destroyed it. And they did a terrible job, Chris Chibnall. The modern version of Doctor Who is now 20 years old, and Davis may have fallen too deep into the fan service trap where he sacrificed story and coherence and continuity and lore clickbait. No, he had lore clickbait because the work he was doing was very poor, right? It was bad, right? And it wasn't vaguely Doctor Who. So, that's essentially where it fell. That's why they needed all that lore shoehorned into it, right? Disney felt too dependent on the big bad reveals and depending on an old series lore up to 50 years ago might not be anything meant to anything to modern era fans, let alone newcomers. Those bright spots were various compromises that forced David to change and rewrite seasons to something less optimal. Again, because it was shit and it failed. He thought everyone was going to love it. Oh, queer Doctor Who. Yeah, what? What's not to love? Well, we're sick of it. Sick of everything being queer, including sometimes too much camp and tonal whiplash. Really? Sometimes? Permanently. The bottom line is that the show feels old and more tired, retreading old ground. Davis laid himself back in the 2000s. And too many times the Doctor didn't even save the day, which seems to forget the most important basic tenet of storytelling genre. The hero should be active and affecting the outcome of the story. No, they're subverting your expectations, that's all. That's fine. Oh, God, idiocy. Back in 2005, Davis said that the problem with the original series was it got old and creaky. That's now happened to the modern iteration of the show. Exactly. Tropes have become too common and repetitive. Davis leaned too far into the camp and whimsy at the expense of coherence and consistency. Experiments in the spin-off like the Warp Between Land and Sea went off the rails. I thought that was the best thing he did, frankly, in this RTD2. Right? But the predictable premise collapsed quickly into basic storytelling tonal mistakes that turned into a squandered opportunity. You could say that about the whole RTD too, especially when you could argue that those 5 hours of television could have been used instead for more episodes of Doctor Who. No, it was better. Their Doctor Who was shit. Given that Disney Plus season may more room to breathe. Come to think of it, you could argue the tragic 5-episode arc of the spin-off might have been better if it were a Doctor Who arc where the Doctor was part of the story. Well, not Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who. Right? Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who was shit. Right? Everybody hated him. That's why it failed. So it refuses, the Doctor wants to be part of the story, and refuses to help the human race commit genocide, but sides with the fish people facilitates fish fucker romance as well. Could Davis, who understands Doctor Who trolling clickbait fans and the haters, well, it clearly doesn't understand them because it all exploded in the face. The haters better than most showrunners? No. He's gotten bogged down in a compromise and even tired. Did he get too fanish in his approach with the Disney run? Again, preachy. When you make your show about preaching rather than about entertaining, no one's interested in it anymore. Right? Really, really genuinely, right? That's the problem with it. Right? No one is interested anymore when you make your show just super, super preachy. Right? There's a parallel with what happened to the classic series with producer of the old show, John Nathan Turner. He ran from 1980 to 89. It was frequently been criticized for and even revolved by fans for many of his creative choices, including the over-reliance on law. Okay, no, the big problem was Eric Saywood. I'm sorry. Or the Eric Saywood, John Nathan Turner relationship. You know, Eric Saywood should have left when Colin Baker came on because he hated Colin Baker's casting and everything about Colin Baker, right? And he had no idea what he was doing in that season, and it showed, right? He fought to keep the series from cancellation as long as he could, possibly even destroying his career as a producer. He did, as he stayed Doctor Who longer than any producer was suspected. Well, they wouldn't give him another job. They didn't want to have any in-house producers, right? To produce other BBC, project at the BBC. It was in the days the producers were all in-house and people developed all their projects internally. He was both the best and worst producer for Doctor Who. To compare Davis with John Nathan Turner is hugely unfair. Davis was responsible for turning Doctor Who from a cult show into, I don't know, I think it is fair, frankly. I think Rusty Davis did a worse job than John Nathan Turner. Hell, I want to talk about this at some point. How sad is this? Oh my God, this guy, Faris, I mean, like, mate, do the same stuff he did like 10 years ago, and it's just kind of sad at this point, right? It is kind of sad. Not so sad, however, is the War Between the Land and Sea complete rating. Now, I think we need 30-day ratings for this one rather than 7-day ratings, because I think this is something that people probably would watch over the Christmas period. Right, because it wasn't bad. I ain't tell like hen. There's a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth about it. It really wasn't bad. It wasn't great Doctor Who, right? It wasn't the best thing ever. It wasn't bad entertainment. Like Archie Collins says to me, "It's simple, Rabbi. They make the modern female characters look unsexy because otherwise they make a few women feel bad." Yes, I know. Yes, and their time is look. Oh my God. So much has been decimated by modern feminism, right? Modern feminism said there weren't enough women in positions of power. So we got women who were like completely unqualified, placed into positions because of DEI, and did a terrible job. Look at Kathleen Kennedy, did a terrible job. What's the name? Salk from Amazon. They just did terrible jobs. They weren't very good at their job. Right? Sadly. It's not because they're women, it's because they were forced in that position out of DEI. Here, let's have a look at, let's compare this to other ratings accumulators. What's this? What's this major twist? 1 second. Disney and Doctor Who end partnership 2026 Christmas special confirmed. Well, that's old. What's this story from? Do you have a date from it? Oh, please. This is from a year ago. From May 31st. Will you piss off? No. We'll do ratings. I want to compare ratings. Ratings accumulator. So we'll do 2021-22. We'll do 2025, 2024, and 2023. All right, so we can like really compare this properly. Okay, so episode 1 and 2, they both did very well on catch up, right? They both did they both got episode 2 got 1.5 million bump. Which is much higher than Doctor Who was getting. Doctor Who didn't get 1 million bump. It got maybe 900,000 if it was lucky, right? So it's doing 30% better because it was better. Because people said, "Oh, you see that thing? It wasn't bad. You have to connect to Doctor Who." I don't know, right? I don't know. And so was it? That's a 1.5 million bump from 7-day viewing, and then 2.45. 1.3 million. Yeah, it goes from like 1.3 to 1.5. So that's really not terrible. At all, I have to tell you. So go back to Series 13, God help us. And, well, it was doing much better, wasn't it? Right? It was doing much better. However, if you look at the relative jump, so the 2021-2022 season, what was that one? Oh, this was Flux, right? When it was really Flux in the arse, right? So that got like... So the first episode got a 1.4 bump, but by the time they got to the end, it was still getting a 1.25 bump, right? But it's basically holding where it was 4 or 5 years ago. But not like the heady days of, 6.89 million. No, forget that. That's never happening again. I mean, hopefully it will be. But look, I mean, you see, the season finale was... What was the season finale for the second Jodie one? Revelation of the Dalek. Was that the one where she was in jail? I don't fucking remember. I really don't remember. But it went from 3.78 to 4.69. That's a much more average jump that it gets on from iPlayer. It got like a 900,000 bump, right? What year is this? Yeah, so, and it did very well the first year, but it doesn't really matter. Ancient history now. Now, compare it to 2025. So it's 3.57. 3.75 was the high. Did it beat? Yeah. Okay, so it totally beat Doctor Who. Right? It totally beat Doctor Who. For a good reason. Again, it wasn't bad view. It wasn't great. Right? It wasn't like, a television equivalent of a blowjob. But it wasn't bad. Like, it was like watching Doctor Who I found to be excruciating and awful. Right? This I didn't. Right? I really didn't. 2025. What year is this one? Man, they have really decimated this show, haven't they? With their really stupid bullshit. Oh, man. So, again, I think in today's TV landscape, it really hasn't done bad at all, right? And, honestly, I generally speaking find I find the ratings to be a good reflection of what the public thought of it. Right? I do. I find it like a decent reflection. So, again, I don't think What Between Land and Sea was so awful. I really don't. Again, it's not. I would rather watch Deadly Assassin, right? Let's see what other news they got on. We're doing one thing with CBBC. There's no news over there. Fine. Doink, 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 doink. So this story about Russell Davies' new boy toy. So I'm going to pull this up. This I just found sad. Like, I found really, really sad. Where is it? Yeah, so this bloke, Faris, right, who was the creative geniuses that inspired the wheelchair ramp into the TARDIS. I'm like, fucking hell. And apparently he was in the Reality War episode or whatever. So anyway, the on Dan's channel, they had about a 20-minute conversation about Russell Davis's whirlwind romance with this bloke, right? And it's a bit sleazy. Like it is a bit sleazy. He's 62 and he's 27, right? That's a 35-year gap. Now imagine if it was a heterosexual relationship, right? And the producer was 62 and the girl was 27. You'll be going, that's a bit gross, right? But then when you invite him onto the set of the TARDIS and film him as the Doctor, right? It's sleazy. And the problem is this. Imagine instead of gay representation, you had rabbi representation, right? Imagine that, like, in every fucking show, there's another rabbi. Like, over and over again, every show. EastEnders has rabbis. Everything has rabbi. Everyone's got rabbi representation. Not me, just rabbis in general. Every show has a rabbi in it now, right? And they're all like presented as being the greatest things ever, right? You'll go, what the fuck's up with all these rabbis, right? And then if you're, politically aligned to, representation, you go, what? Oh my God, you must be a bigot. You hate rabbis. So that's what this discussion was about on Dan's channel, right? Which was, it was like a 20-minute conversation about this guy is a bit sleazy, right? It is a bit sleazy. Just the way it is. And it's also deeply inappropriate. So Tharis, I guess he's kind of like scrabbling for things to do. Now Doctor Who's off, and the version of Doctor Who that he was politically aligned with, which is what it was, has absolutely and completely failed. He did like an over-hour video analyzing like this group of people talking about it, right? And they go, "Oh my God! Oh, well, they hate gay people. Oh, they say the quiet boy out loud. They hate gay people." No, you guys are just weird. Okay. There's just gay people freaking everywhere. And if you look at some of these comments, they're just insane, right? These people are not just fully grown adults, but mostly middle-aged. That's true. I get the feeling that, Sean, you're a little whippersnapper. They should feel deeply embarrassed by putting this out on the internet. Why? Okay, why is, again, this? Everybody can live and do what they want in their love lives. It's just the way Russell's doing it is 100% sleazy. You're 100% right, Faris. This is pathetic homophobia from a group of people old enough to know better. Really pathetic. I wonder when Jitson 121 is old enough to know better. They will be old enough. Again, these kids know fucking nothing about anything. And they're just such losers, right? I mean, it really is. It's just like to spend an hour going over 4 people. If you might disagree with them, but to call it the most disgusting Doctor Who video on YouTube. What about me, mate? I think I got way more disgusting stuff, right? It's sad and it's pathetic, right? That's how I would describe it. Sad and pathetic, which is kind of how I describe Rossi Davis's whirlwind romance with Oliver Cole, right? Who's probably using Davis to move up in the world. Right, because that's what Davis is essentially doing. But okay then. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Fine, whatever. Doctor Who magazine. Here. It reminds me. Where is it? Is it over here? Here we go. New issue of Doctor Who magazine coming out on Thursday. The great cover. Right, a cover that I'm really kind of excited about. Right, it really is a good cover. Tom Baker, Time Lord Honor. I've enjoyed the route here. Not that I've had much sense of direction. See that this looks like an issue I'm going to read. Right, join Tom Baker as he's awarded an MBE. Season 20 on Blu-ray. A new encounter between the Fifth Doctor and the Daleks. Must be about making the trailer. Russell Tovey interview, Pete Matee's production diary, and I think we're going to see a lot more Pete Matee's production diary, right? War Between the Land and the Sea. I'm glad by next month that'll be over and forgotten about, and it really will. I mean, again, it wasn't bad, but I don't give a shit, right? I don't give a shit. But I think Pete Matee is the name we're going to be seeing. Look, I think he's the new showrunner, right? So my question is, what are they doing with the comic strip? Is it still going to be Shooty? Are they still got Shooty stuff they're going to run? Because as far as I understand it, Shooty is contractually prohibited from playing the Doctor, right? Yeah, literally contractually prohibited from playing the Doctor. So that's answer this week. Doctor Who Magazine comic features the new 15th Doctor and Mel adventure. Interesting. 265 features a not to miss comic strip featuring 15th Doctor and Melanie Bush. This month's Tom Baker's 92nd anniversary, 92nd birthday. Joins his family and friends and dignitaries as he's awarded an MBE for services. And again, this is something I'm really all on board for, right? I really am totally all on board for it. The presentation starts with Tom emerging from the TARDIS, which he's so much associated with. Tom is ushered into the back of the TARDIS as he addresses the gathered crowd. I'll be back, he as he enters the TARDIS. It sways a little. Things really haven't changed after all this. With Tom in position, the Lord Lieutenant enters and knocks on the door. Never want to miss a laugh. Tom opens the door and looks at the Lord Lieutenant and closes it as though the visitors are not welcome, which is met with a roar of laughter from the room. Okay, this is how I'm going to enjoy this reading. Okay, so we've got the war between land and sea star. Russell Tovey talks about further about playing Barclay ambassador. I don't really care. I mean, I think he did a fine job, but I don't really care. PPT writing section of the war between land and sea shares his production diary. I am interested in. And access aware production of the war between land and sea. I don't really care. Destination Daleks joined the Fifth Doctor and Janet Fielding as they made a new mini-adventure. It was a trailer. It was an ad. Who Year's resolution plans for Doctor Who fans in 2026? I'll be intrigued to see. Back to 2009, how fandom reacts to the casting of Matt Smith. Cautiously optimistic. I was like, well, that's an interesting choice. A reflection of tragedy of Time Lord renegade Morbius. I wonder what that. Fact of Fiction talks about the Silurians. Gallifreyan Guardian, a little bit defunct at this point. Other Worlds, essentially, new stories in Doctor Who Universe expanded. Presley one, including audio dramas, Big Finish, blah, blah, blah. 625 is on sale in 2 days' time. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, I really got to do the Big Finish. Hang on. Oh, it takes so long to open up. While we're waiting for that, we'll close this. Doink. We'll go over here. Yeah, okay. Have fun. This I find fascinating, right? Can we read it on Radio Times? I think it might be quicker. Oh, they're going to make me log in. Oh, no, there you go. Former Doctor Who showrunner Christian reacts to Jodie Whittaker's return and references, oh, I exist. No, you don't. No, mate, you exist. It only exists in a... Everything post-Capaldi isn't canon, right? I mean, that's really the... So, yeah, Jodie could totally show up in that, and it's fine, because Ncuti wasn't a real Doctor either, right? You don't realize you can contributed to it while you're doing it. Well, contribute's a strong word there, Chris, mate. I think destroyed is a better word. We're now 2 years into Russell Davies' second era, and it's over, right? We're 2 years in, and it's over. That doesn't sound like that was a plan, right? I think that happened because it was shit, right? It was agonizingly shit. So Christian Clone from 2018 to 2022, also shit. Since Criminal left the show, Davis' new episodes have made numerous references to predecessors there, including Flux and the controversial revelation about the Doctor's origins. Again, any stupid idea he would have. Whittaker himself even made a return, popping on a cameo and shooting out with Swan Song The Reality War for no apparent reason. Speaking of exclusively for our video interview series, the Radio Time Writers Room, again, it's only exclusive if other people are trying to get him. They're not. So he's asked for his reaction to Whittaker's return, and to multiple references have been made to his era since his departure. Again, nothing says more about the failure of Doctor Who than this picture, right? Dumb and smug and dumb. He wrote, lovely, he says, before adding, I think there was a line I put into Jodie's era about something from Stephen's era. Maybe it was the Sonic not doing word. But I don't remember messing going, I contributed something to Doctor Who. I exist. You really don't. Again, everything after Capaldi left is fanfic. In my mind, I think majority of fandom. I really do. Right? Yeah. Fanfic is how I would describe it. It's like you don't realize that you contribute while you're doing it because you're just doing the job and it's within your control. But if you get a callback or if somebody mentioned Calvinista or Flux, or let alone Jodie popping up, it's like, oh, that was the thing. It really wasn't. Like don't kid yourself. It really, really wasn't. Yeah, it was quite unusual. He continued. All it does is delegitimize the current era. right? There isn't it's quite unusual. There isn't an equivalent experience anywhere else. So it's so lovely, lovely and surprising because you're doing that from a previous series. You're sort of laying a fire. It's sort of laying a fire almost. You're putting up your sticks on top of the sticks that are already there. Okay, and you're very conscious of doing that. I'm very conscious of. I'm making a reference back to Deadly Assassin or the Braid of Morbius. Don't do that. Just write good stories. But you couldn't do that, I guess. But I don't know why you didn't get somebody in who could write good stories, right? Or something like that. But when somebody does it to you, it's like, oh, that's a real surprise and delight. Well, I'm glad you were surprised and delighted. We all hated every second of it, right? We did. We hated every freaking second of your turgid, awful Doctor Who, right? Because it was turgid and it was awful, right? And they're very much handing things over to Pete McTeague. You can really feel that. Share screen. I don't know, maybe he might do something good. Listen, the majority of work I've seen of his has been good. But he's done some real clangers as well. Like the what's that one he did? Did he do Praxius? No, the shooty one, right? What was that shooty one he did? Lucky Day. Lucky Day was a shit story, right? But I say, okay, firstly, good cover, right? This is a good cover, and it's really designed to appeal to the classic fan, right? Great cover, great picture. I'm glad they're using it. Tom Baker's still wonderful. Oh, we love you, Tom. Right? We do love you, Tom. Wolverine Mancy, I have to tell you, wasn't shit. And she actually looks hotter in stills than she did in real life. But she looks reasonably beautiful in this. And Russell Tovey, flaming queer, as I'm sure he will call himself that he is, very convincingly played heterosexual. So I was quite impressed with that. Right? Jason Quinn is the editor. Jason Quinn is such a bizarre guy. Right? Somebody told me he was Tim Quinn, as in Tim Quinn and Dickie Mallett used to the cartoons in Doctor Who magazine. Brother, right? That's really kind of wild. But man, look, he's got his work cut out filling out a year's worth. Oh, maybe not. I think there's quite a lot you can do. I don't know what's going on. The Blue Zoo wins pitch to make the CBB show. Again, I can't imagine this is going to be interesting in any way whatsoever. What's this? You Are River Song, Storm Cage, a River Song Adventure by Alex Kingston. Is she really writing it? What's it? The Tangled Fortune of the Professor song, take a new twist and choose your own adventure tell from BBC Books, written by Alex Kingston, 302-page hardback. So I'll sell February for £25. Not really interested. I'm very interested in this. Can't wait for this to come out. I think it's March. Right? What's this over there? Doctor Appreciation Society awarded 19th scripture Andrew Carmel the Terence Dix Award, named after the predecessor, occupied the same day. For what? For just being around, right? Just being a good egg. So this really doesn't interest me at all, the new unit series. Unit eras. I don't really like the four individual stories. I think it's better when they build it up. I'm just really not that interested. Right? I'm really just not that interested, I'm afraid. Sounds of the Sea, no. Although the music was pretty good. I have to tell you, I thought the music was pretty good for War and Bleeding Land Sea. What's this? Make your bids. An online auction of over 200 Doctor Who props will take place by bidding the 3rd and 9th in February. Process support BBC Children in Need and the preservation of the storage of historical props and costumes. Amongst the items will be able to bid on a bronze Dalek that appeared in Asylum of the Daleks. Well, that's not impressive. So many things appeared in that. BBC Books, original release in May, is a brand new adventure of the 11th Doctor and its companions. Who's reading it? Circle Memory, written by BAFTA winner Bob Ayres, who has previously contributed to the first and second Doctor Adventures, Big Finish audio range, read by Dan Starkey, who has, of course, played the 11th Doctor, Sontaran Psychic. Again, I really wish they got the new guy from doing the 11th Doctor to read that, right? I'm kind of intrigued by that their 11th Doctor Adventures, but I just the writers on it just didn't fill me with confidence at all, right? At all. What's on the YouTube? Rostover and Jimmy Regret gush about the war between the land and sea on this morning. Again, it wasn't bad. An illuminating chat with Toto Peter Capaldi and Half the Picture podcast. I heard that's very good. You might go there. Chris Thompson's trailer for Cyberdean, which was freaking excellent. Right, absolutely excellent. A War Doctor box set for Big Finish. Really, it was probably one of the best things they did that year. Absolutely excellent. Meanwhile, director on Anthony Lamb's radar for the first episode of the charming new animated series. I can't remember what it's called. Fan favorite director Rachel Tarley explains her techniques when shooting various TARDIS sets. Right. Okay. Anything interesting in the letters? Not really. Where are we up to? An MBE for the Doctor. So yeah, so I think we'll cover this in more detail at some point. But this does look like a lovely story, which I'm really looking forward to diving into. That's only 3 pages long. Is baffling to me because they should be able to pad this out for more, right? I think Louise Jameson just looks lovely. I really love them together. Where are we up to? Russell Tovey interview. Lisa Gledhill interview. I don't know who Lisa Gledhill is, but okay. Right. Again, this wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. It wasn't really Doctor Who, but it wasn't really bad. All right. I think Ralph Tovey was a good convincing lead. Pete Mateen's production diary. We might go through this in more detail tonight. I don't know. All right. Because again, he is the future. He is the next showrunner of Doctor Who, right? And he talks a good game. This was excellent, really was excellent. Hey, but I also listened to this one, Fallen Heroes. So this season of The War Doctor Rises, bit hit and miss. Fallen Heroes ended well, but as the Cybergene was Cybergene and Morbius are the first one and last one in the series are the two to watch out for. In Mysterious Thousand Blow, DWM will tell you a tale of the bottomless blue. As Lisa goes, okay, it's a set report. Okay, but it goes on forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, she's got a nice rack. That's this woman, whoever she is. 7, 9, 11, 13, 14 pages long. Blimey. Again, it wasn't bad. I'm not really that interested. I'm more interested in Doctor Who. Let's see what we will go over these New Year's resolutions. Here, which it says, what's Beth Axford resolution? And Beth Axford is just the archetypal modern fan who are just awful. No regrets, no tears, no anxieties. Let it all go. Whatever you're carrying with you, you don't need it anymore. Seriously, what happened in 2025 report is over now. Every year, this is actually good advice. I want to rank on her, but this is actually very good advice. Live in the moment. Okay, Beth, you've won me over with this, okay? You have won me over. Why you put a picture of Jodie next to it? I don't know. But very good, right? But is it serving you? The first Doctor left his grand daughter Susan on Earth in the 22nd century to begin a new life. But what a new year is for us. It's a chance to start again. Enter the year with the words of the Doctor. No matter where it takes you, no matter what experience, you must not fret. Make it your resolution to move through 2020, then and go with guilt, upsets, and what. Okay, Beth, honestly, I wanted to rank on you and take the piss. I got a lot of respect for that, very good. I really strongly agree with you, right? Stop running on fumes. Doctor isn't that alien to us. Not really. They run away from their feelings as much as we do. But it sounds like she's had a real moment of introspection. But much like the 14th Doctor, if you don't slow down, your body will force you. Many of us run from place to place and work all the time. If you're feeling burnt out, it takes some time to rest. When you make time for yourself, you're giving your future self energy for more love, adventures, and fun. Maybe you just need a good cry like 15th Doctor. Well, I agree with you up until the last sentence, Beth. Okay, I think look after yourself. Tell you, Beth, you're doing well. Take a banana to a party. Beth, I don't really go to those sort of parties. I'm an old guy now, right? Unlike the doctor, we only have one body. We should try our best to take care of it. Okay, she has had a real life change. Most people enter a new year with health goals, but you only need to make small changes to see big benefits. This is true. Whether you're nourishing yourself before face off with the Daleks or fueling your body for bi-generation, make it resolute to add a bit more fruit and veg a day. From decorative celery to world-saving satsuma. Everyone loves a satsuma. If anything you think eating healthy will stop. I mean, again, she's had a real moment of introspection, okay? I'm really quite impressed. The doctor advice is rarely wrong. And never, ever eat pears. I'm not really a big pear fan. Always look after your inner child. Yeah, but if you're like me, I let my inner child become me. Right? Let it take over. The doctor once said there's no point being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes. This is why I love Doctor Who. This is why I love Doctor Who. But the trouble is, it's very enticing and you want to be childish all the time. So add more play into your life. One could argue that being a fan of Doctor Who is constantly feeding your inner child. Yes. But many of us don't have enough fun. Okay, Beth, mate, I don't know if you're straight, I don't know if you're gay, whatever. It sounds like you need a partner, right? Honestly, I look at my kids, right? I look at my kids who were brought up religious. And my two boys who are married now, I'm almost positive they were virgins when they got married, both of them, right? And I see how happy they are and how great their lives are. And their lives are really together, right? Especially my younger son, like he's actually married his first girlfriend. Right, and he's so in love with her. It's beautiful, right? It really is beautiful. It sounds like you might need somebody like that in your life, Beth, right? Somebody to put you first. It sounds like you might need somebody to have fun with. Again, I don't know you at all. I walked into this article not liking you, and you've won me over a lot so far, so you're doing good, darling. All right. What would our favorite TARDIS traveler do? Explore, create, play. Maybe it's even it's action figures. Maybe it's cosplay. Maybe it's dancing around your living room. There's always a twist at the end. Oh, there never has been a twist at the end. Whatever you choose, your inner child will thank you. Not sure how much I agree with that. I always like to dress for the occasion. With a fashion sense as more the doctor, master companion, making an effort to dress up for adventures can really turn your mood around. Okay, darling, you're a girl, right? You're a relatively young girl. I'm an old man, right? I put clothes on and I don't really give a shit, right? How old is it? Let me look her up on Twitter. We go doing x.com. Like, I think she's in her 20s. Beth Axe. How do I pronounce this? Axford, right? 1 second, I'll get that. Beth Axe Ford. Okay, fine. I just got like porn. Why is there porn on Twitter? It really kind of annoys me. Okay, so she looks like she's in her mid-20s to me. Right? And the timeline isn't like Trump, Nigel Farage, Trump. It's actually Doctor Who. Okay, good for her. I mean, she's part of this podcast. I imagine it's like I would disagree with many of her opinions. But Beth, darling, okay, look, okay, it's good advice if you're a young girl, but I'm not a young bloody girl, okay? I'm an old fart. But anyway, fine. Okay, dress for the job you want to have. I think it's a good idea. You'll feel able to attack anything wearing water. Okay, fine. Take time to enjoy the little things in life. Okay, also good advice. When was the last time you took pleasure in smelling flower, watching a sunset, or eating a well-prepared meal? Well, pretty much when I do all of this. Last night, in fact, I had a very nice well-prepared meal. Becoming more connected with the world around you can make all the difference in our lives. The doctor is just excited. Okay, this sounds like somebody who was a obnoxiously, obsessively woke fan who has just collapsed all around her. Right, that's exactly who she sounds like. Which maybe she is, right? Maybe she is like reevaluating her whole worldview, seeing as everything has just completely collapsed. Seeing the beauty in everything is one of the biggest lessons you can take from the show like Doctor Who. Why not resolve to cook from scratch more often? I do. Or take time each day to be in nature or watch the sunrise. Again. I'm an old guy. I just do this normally. Right? That's yeah, but you're right. Take time to smell the roses. That's a good idea. Run. I don't do this so much, right? Honestly, you never know when you might need to dart away from a Slitheen or escape a robot. Yeah, okay, now you're just filling up column inches. Or a robot yeti. If there's one thing Doctor and friends can do, it's running. Running away from danger, running towards adventure, or running... Okay, this is stupid. Okay, fine. You've run out of steam at this point. Follow improbable dreams. Well, I agree with that advice, but you should also be real and understand improbable dreams probably won't happen because they're improbable, right? That's what makes them improbable. Most of us have some kind of dream-related resolution in our list of the 1st of January, but it's as good a time as any to start. I mean, there's the thing. Dream big, but you've got to work towards it as well, right? It's 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. It's a really true sentence. All right, Edison said that, I believe. Many of us get stuck when achieving our goals, whether it's imposter syndrome. Well, no, you get imposter syndrome when you're elevated beyond your abilities and your talent, right? Which a lot of people like Beth Axford are, because they have the right politics, they're the right worldview, and that's exactly what goes down, right? But yeah, that's what imposter syndrome essentially is, right? You're somewhere where you really shouldn't be, right? Although I would say somebody like, what's her name, who did the watch-alongs, who's been doing really quite well. I can't remember her name. She's been hosting the escape room thing on the Blu-rays, and she's been writing some books. I thought that's somebody who really earned their place. Right, genuinely, I think she really, earned her place, because again, the watch-alongs were a fantastic idea, and she essentially put it together. I can't remember what her bloody name was. All right, what is her name? And she's absolutely. I interacted with her on Twitter, and she was absolutely lovely. Right, Doctor Who watch-alongs. Do we have lockdown here? This is over on the Doctor Who Wikipedia. Emily Cook. Yeah, Emily Cook, I feel, shouldn't have imposter syndrome. I think she's somebody who really earned her place. Right? Following probable dreams. When you get stuck into the fear, what's it? Imposter fear and simply not knowing where to start can be difficult to make headway. Just get stuck in, okay? Just get stuck in. Travel, hopefully. Again, I mean, like, I'm older now, but yeah, look, seeing the world's a good thing. Like when my kids were younger, we did take them to see a lot of places, and a lot of culture, and I think it's made them better people for it, right? But again, she's just like trying to squeeze blood out of straw now. Take a stand and don't run away. Well, no, here's the thing. Take a stand, but you've really got to like stop and think, what are you taking a stand on? Right? Am I taking a stand on being an anti-Semite? Right? As in, I want to be anti-Semitic. That's the thing. Yeah, the good nature of good people have been co-opted by wokeness, right? Evil wokeness. I think that this one was killed because she hated ICE deporting people from her country, which is what the country overwhelmingly voted for, right? You've got to be able to frame it with insanity, right? And if you can't frame it with insanity, like if you can't answer basic questions, then Jordan Peterson has had it at it best. You want to affect change the world. Start with your own environment, tidy your room. And I think he's 100% right. Resolve to read. Well, this is really good advice of Beth, because she's a writer. right? And the big problem we have with writing today, especially, I think, really came out very clear in the final season of Stranger Things, which it was expanded beyond its ability, beyond it, is that it was written by people who learned storytelling through video games. It was like problem, extra problem, solution, execute. It just wasn't a story. Reading books, you learn how to write stories, right? So that's very good. Know who you are and don't question it. Well, you should always question who you are. See, I disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. Okay, look, Beth, you started strong. Okay, so good for you, darling. Good for you. Okay, this is an extensive article on the making of the trailer for the season 23 box set. 22 season 22 box set? Season 21 box set. My mistake. Right, 1922, season 21 and it's a good trailer. But for fuck's sake, mate, it's a fucking trailer. Right? It is a fucking trailer. That's all it is. So I don't want to tell you. Maybe we'll read that in more detail. Time Space Visualizer, who's doing what? Sheridan Smith, there you go. Sauron can be seen playing Andy alongside Sheridan Smith, Duke York Theatre. Woman in Mind. I like Sheridan Smith. Rossi, we're talking at the screenwriting weekend in Newcastle. Give that a miss. David Anton, Siobhan Finner of the Thursday of the Time for BBC 10 will play a prison officer, Bailey, who faces his own struggle, which leads him to clashing with his prison chaplain, Mary Louise. Now, as long as it's written by, what's his name? Boyce and Black Stuff, the guy who wrote the first season, be good. Peter David Fraser and Kevin McNally among some of the guest stars in Midsummer Murders, Annette Badland, fucking in everything. Returns the pathologist Fleur Perkins. Second season of Hijack, don't care. Has Archibald Jabi in it, Christine Adams. Toby Jones joins the cast. Red Eye. I don't know when it is. Paul Cobley, Anita Dawson, Nigel Havers. Tracy and Nina Wajia and the cast of Play for Today. Anthology revived by Channel 5. Really? That's funny. John Bishop is the host of... Okay, I don't know who any of these people are. And a lot of people. Brown bread. Brown bread, I say. What have we got here? This day in 2009. Is this when they announced the 11th Doctor? It looks like that's what this is from. Man, that was a great time in Doctor Who. Right, that was that was a really optimistic, good time in Doctor Who. Happy days. So I was wondering, what's this? Fault Locator. Okay, it's just a column, but nice enough. Even a sponge has more life than I. Paul Morbius, a body atomized in the 9 corners of the universe. His savage brain slops on the floor. Crystal Knight considers the tragedy of the rogue Time Lord. Nice bit of artwork that goes with it, though. Really nice. Wonder if he's the artist for that. All right. So I was wondering what they're going to do with the comic strip because Shooter's gone. Right. I wonder how far ahead that they did this. And is he going to say the Doctor for the whole year until they get to Christmas? I don't know. I'm just not interested in Shooter at all. Right. So he has a. So now Mel is the old Mel is the companion in the comic strip, and it's I guess they're in the can, but then the Daleks show up and it's called Corruption of the Daleks. So I guess this looks like a major strip that's going to be ongoing. I don't know. I'm just like, why are they still with Shooter? Couldn't they find something else to do? Really? I'll tell you. Fact and fiction, they're finishing the Silurians. It's Alan Barnes. Alan Barnes, very, very, very solid writer, right? I always find these things very readable. I like the cover of this unit special. I'm not buying it because I got so many unit bloody specials, but I do like that cover. It is nice, right? It is nice. Okay, so this I reviewed the other day. Nearly good. It was like the series conclusion, right? This I didn't bother with. This I did. Jodie, fuck off, leave me alone. Cybergene, fucking excellent. Oh, excellent. And Dark Eternity, I'm afraid I gave up on Bernie Sommerfeld. The soundtracks, okay. And coming next week, again, I'm really annoyed with what they're doing with the David Bradley Doctor. Like, they're essentially imagining if the writers were being employed by BBC in the 1960s, and I'm like, I like their other idea a lot more, right? Their other idea of doing Peter Cushing ex Doctor, right? This is actually a good thing to buy. It's a reasonable price as well, as I recall. The Sixth Doctor, it's the first season of their missing stories. Most of them are pretty good and worth getting. Jodie, of course, fuck off. No. Stephen Baxter, Cool Ice. Who's reading that? Read by David Troughton. Oh, all these are read by David Troughton, right? David Troughton reading books. This just came out today. I'm not getting it. I hate the unit tower. And I guess next month they're going to be talking all about the season 21 box set, right? I guess that's where they are, right? So I don't know. I think quite a reasonable issue of Doctor Who magazine into my mind. Anyway, that's just what I think, right? That's just what I think. Oh, 1 second. What are we up to? Okay, fine. I'm just let me just try to say this better. Let me know when you. Okay, doink. Well, else? I need to hit the end stream button there. That was a mistake. Anyway, I'll quickly go through the series. I wonder how much are they charging for it, because I remember it was a reasonable amount of money. It wasn't crazy, right? It wasn't crazy at all. So here they go. This series, Nightmare Fair, is freaking hit. Let me pull up Big Finish. Big Finish. Here we go. Oh, Big Finish. Their website always takes so long to open up. Right, but Nightmare Fair, really, really, really solid, right? Really, genuinely solid. Probably one of the best of the missing stories. Mission to Magnus, it's a fair recreation of that story, but it is fucking awful. It is cringe and mad. It is so awful, right? It's so insanely sexist, right? And that's from a very sexist person like myself. The Leviathan isn't bad, but it's kind of like a forgettable story. Hollows of Time is awful, right? They're supposed to have the Master in it, and Chris H. Binmead wrote it, and he's not very good with radio fiction, right? Paradise 5 is excellent. PJ Hammond of Sapphire and Steel fame, right? Really genuine. The Point of Entry, again, Point of Entry, Song of Manatra, and Macross. All of these are okay, right? Now, I think how much are they charging for it? That's the question. It's this month. What are we up to? Or was it last month? Oh, maybe it's next month. No, it wasn't last month. Let's try February. I mean, $60 is too much. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. $60. I mean, like, how much they charge these individually? Sort by oldest first. Fine. Nightmare Fair, yes. Paradise 5, yes. Everything else, no. Okay? If you want to spend $20, those are the two to do it on, right? Those are the two to do it on. I like this box set a lot. $20 for this. This is really good value. $20 for the second Doctor box set. Very, very good value. Beth Chalmers doesn't really work as the companion over here. The fourth Doctor box set, it's got the one they did instead of the Invasion of Time. They did Invasion of Time instead of it, and you can see why they did Invasion of Time was a lot better. The Elite is excellent. As in, yeah, this 3 parts is $10 each. Guardians of Prophecy, not bad. But again, in terms of this one, I wouldn't go for $60, right? That's not for me, baby. Not for me. Anyway, that's just what I think, baby. That's what I think. Let's bring in another mind, right, to mind meld with, right, and we can maybe we can join together. Oh, hang on. There you go. We can form contact, right, and we can work out what Don't take that away. We can contact and we can work out what is the truth of all things. And who better do this with actual royalty? Of course, I'm talking about Birmingham's King of the Geeks, Dan Hadley. How you doing, sir?
Hello, mate. It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm rethinking my status as royalty of Birmingham. I'm thinking of advocating.
Well, you are somewhat the wrong ethnicity for native Birmingham now.
Yeah, it's getting that way.
How are you?
Not too bad at all. We're expecting snowfall at any moment here in the Black Country, so expect more complaining about me.
It was actually really... by the way, I was going to ask you, is that Ingrid Pitt, the Hammer actress? Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. Have you seen this month's Doctor Who magazine?
It is behind me it is on the table behind me over there. I'm having a spring cleaning here, so I'm sort of cleaning things down. But my DWM is safely on the table behind me,
I'd say very good cover this month. Very good cover.
Yeah.
And I think going into this Doctor Who this year, this might be a good year for Doctor Who magazine if it survives.
We're fingers crossed. Always fingers crossed for Doctor Who magazine to survive. No matter.
I think there's more chance of Doctor Who magazine surviving than SFX magazine. They're always crying about. They're on the brink of
Yeah, I think it's more pressing for them because the people who make that I can't remember the name of the company now. I can picture their logo in my head, but they had to stop publishing Total Film because they're all
right, and this is the SFX is like right behind that.
Yeah.
What's kept Doctor Who magazine floating is its US sales. When it got really bad during the Jodie era, once you go below 15, they cancel you, and it stayed. It was 14,000 a month locally, but they sold 2,000 in America, which kept them afloat.
Wow! Oh, I didn't realize that. 14,000 copies.
Yeah. Oh, that's about the same number of people who watch Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Apparently. They measure that I'm not joking. They're saying on Red Letter Media, they measure that in the thousands or tens of thousands. It's not a lot, right? It's not.
There's got to be more than 14,000 people watch a multi-million-dollar production like that.
I think maybe not. Actually, I think maybe not. You've been getting more back into Star Trek recently, though. That was your plan as we spoke a while ago. Have you been watching more Star Trek?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, I've sort of in fits and starts. So I've yeah. I mean, we'll have to talk about it in a couple of days' time for that. But what I've been doing is I've been cherry picking the things that I felt would lead me back into that fictional universe more so, because I'd missed it, and I wasn't sure where I wanted to restart when I came to look at it again a few weeks ago. So I've picked several points of entry to remind me why I liked it in the first place, and some of the more recent stuff I've enjoyed as well. So, yeah,
in terms of recent stuff, I rewatched the final episode of Picard the other day, season 3. That's still awesome, right? That is still freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But again, Strange New Worlds season 1, I thought had potential. And I was very excited by it, and it just failed to meet that potential. So I'm very disappointed with that show. Listen, I really like. You've got good TV now. Get the 4K Star Trek motion picture. That is incredible on 4K.
Well, usually I would probably be rewatching the Star Trek movies, but I've told myself, because I've had the same DVD copies for 25 years, that I want to upgrade to the 4K ones. So I'll buy them in fits and starts. I'll buy one a month or something like that. Get the whole lot.
I'm going through Battlestar Galactica right now, 4K. I'm about episode 11, I think, of the first season. And
the 21st century one, or the original?
Yeah, and the 4K upgrade. I think it's a fan one. Awesome. It is just like awesome.
When did that show start? About 2002. So it was just before HD became standard, wasn't it?
Right. But it was all digital, so they were able to upgrade it quite easily, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I think it went from like 2002 to 2007, maybe.
Around that, yeah. There's 5 or 6 seasons, a couple of TV movies.
Right. So yeah, I've got the whole 4K series on my hard drive connected to my TV now. Right, and it's just gorgeous. I got the 1080 upgrade for Deep Space Nine on the same drive, which is also good. But this one is even better. So crisp, right? I don't know if it's an AI upgrade or what, but it's really impressive, right? It's really, really impressive. So big recommend. Did you get yourself any good Christmas presents in terms of genre media stuff?
I can't say that I did, to tell you the truth. It was I had a very muted Christmas. I think I watched a couple of things, 2 or 3 things. Most of all, the big film I picked for myself was Last Train Before Christmas, which I spoke to you about last week. So
yes, we did. Yes, I
didn't watch any of the usual things that I usually watch.
It did seem to somewhat fly, but I was busy being a grandparent, right? All that stuff's going down. And yeah, over New Year, all that stuff has just died down now, thank God, right? So getting back to reality, but it's there was a lot of babies for me over Christmas, right? Over New Year's, Christmas as well, right? Something I found interesting in this issue, how they're very much. This is a great article, right? But why is it only 3 pages? Well, they got other things that go on forever, right? Warburton Landsea, Pete Matigue. They are so positioning Pete Matigue to be the once and future king of Doctor Who.
This was all decided such a long time ago. They're walking us to the place now where people just go, oh, of course. But some of us have been aware of this for a long time.
I'm just hoping that I know he could do something good. I just hope he does. Right? I just please don't do another Lucky Day.
That
was good.
I mean, I know I repeat myself a lot on this. If he's given room to do what he does best on other shows, then this could turn out not to be anything particularly revolutionary. Because, obviously this is a guy in his 50s as well. He grew up in the same era that you and I did. So I would rather they have somebody who's about 30 to tell you the truth. But
yeah.
This is a guy who's made some really good populist TV, and he knows Doctor Who inside out. So again, I understand why people are going, oh no, not here, me right praxis. But I think the War Between proves that we have not seen this guy at his best in the Who universe up until now.
Again, people hate saying it, right? But the War Between, good dialogue, good characterization, good. It was good drama. It was worth watching, right? Wasn't the best thing. I didn't even make my top 10 things of 2025, but whereas Alien Earth did, where some people may disagree.
Well, again, I mean, people ask me about the War Between quite a lot. Because we had more people unsubscribe from the Type 40 YouTube channel.
Yes, they do.
Because we gave the War Between a relatively good review. We had our bones to pick with it, and most of us felt the finale was a letdown. But a lot of people unsubscribed simply because of we didn't slate it. We did not hate it. The political landscape on YouTube really does make me laugh. I'm always honest. If I watch something, you'll always get my honest opinion. Yeah. I'm not a political activist. I'm a Doctor Who podcaster, so people get my honest opinions every time. I've got no axe to grind, no campaigns. If I enjoy something, I'm going to be honest about it and process it accordingly. And if people don't like it, that's fine too.
I tell you, I actually like the ending. I like the idea that humanity just wipes out the Sea Devils, with a biological.
I like the content of that, of where the story itself points to and where it rests. It's the execution of the finale that I feel lets it down.
Oh yeah. It dragged somewhat, right? It did indeed drag somewhat.
All that slow motion, all all those voiceovers and things like that. I think, oh, come on, this has been an intimate show up until this point. They've got us into these characters' heads, and now we're pulled away from them. And so that's why I felt it was not what it could have been.
Yeah, honestly, I think its biggest success was it was Doctor Who. Like, it was very. You didn't have to know anything about Doctor Who for it. It really was that.
Yeah.
That made
and they were able to market it on that as well to people either who didn't watch Doctor Who anymore, or people who would never watch Doctor Who in a million years, or people who just liked some form of running drama on a Sunday evening on a winter's night.
Yeah,
they successfully multifaceted marketed that show in a way that like I said, I don't watch BBC content, so for all I know they do that with other dramas. So I haven't got a TV license, so I don't know. But they marketed that quite wisely. The big mistake they made was having it so close to Christmas, because by the time it had finished, and when people should have been talking about the finale, they were talking about what was actually on over the Christmas period instead. And the war between was quickly forgotten about.
I looked at the ratings for it, and they were decent. They're certainly better than the second season.
Nothing to write home about, but nothing to cry into the screen into the window.
I really wanted to see what they would look like on the 30-day one, which is when people over the Christmas period, did they catch up on it? Did they pick up on it? Because they might well have done. There was no real buzz though.
There was the first couple of weeks, but there wasn't after the finale, because didn't it premiere and then 2 or 3 days later it was Christmas Eve? People are doing it. I mean, for a start, the day after, we're talking like 48 hours before Christmas Day, every bloke I know is out Christmas shopping, last minute Christmas shopping. So you've lost the men immediately. They're already under the cosh.
It would have been a good time for a strong social media campaign with clips from it to remind it over Christmas. Like, check out the box set. That way, if they put that on, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever.
Again, as I'm not a BBC viewer, I don't know whether they've done this or not, but I would like to think that over the Christmas and New Year fortnight, as bumpers in between programs, in between EastEnders, they've got a thing like now available, all 5 episodes of The War Between on iPlayer. And that's what they should be doing. Whether they're doing it or not, I don't know.
I have no idea if they did that. Although I'm close right now saying the best Doctor Who of 2025 was this thing over here, Cybergene. I really thought that was great.
Good, was it?
Yeah, it felt like real epic holiday seasonal Doctor Who. Not that it was Christmassy, but it was this big 3-hour Cyberman epic where they credibly got all the Cybermen in without it seeming like with it kind of working. Jonathan Carey is freaking excellent as the War Doctor. I mean, he really is. He's getting better and better.
Usually I complain, Rabbi, about the length of time in between recording of Big Finish and publishing them. But so this is going to sound a bit stupid, me saying this, but this is really strange. Surely this would have been the ideal 60th anniversary of the Cybermen set to release this year, later on in the year.
Probably. But again, look, I'm just happy for it to be good, solid Doctor Who. Right. Yeah. Okay. So in fact, this is the season they've just done. They had this Morbius. These are all like 3-part stories, right? So you had this Morbius one, which was the second best one. Unknown Soldiers, which look great. It's got like villains and like these spider Daleks, and there's all this great stuff on the cover. It never really gels together, sadly enough. But because this Cybergene was so good, I listened to Fallen Heroes. Now, the third one. So though I didn't get the third one, because it looked like War Doctor was trapped in some, pseudo-reality. And it's more like a detective story, X-Files or something like that. Yeah. And then it's going to be all revealed at the end. And that's exactly what it was. And the last episode was very, very good. But it's very complicated, very labyrinthian. Right, and I want to hear the War Doctor be the War Doctor, right? I don't want to hear and I understand it. They need to do creatively stretch, but this thing, Cybergene, 100% the best Doctor Who of 2025, I think.
Wow,
it was really genuinely strong.
I think I'll get this then, because I have enjoyed what I've heard of the War Doctor stuff so far.
Let me have a look. See who wrote it.
I like the look of it. For some reason, I just didn't think it was out yet. They put that many things get announced.
Yeah, well, if you notice this year, they very much. Jonathan Morris is a writer, right? They very much reduced their output in 2026. Good. Yeah, we have this month. It used to be a lot more tight. So we got this.
Is that all this month? Is that all there is this month?
Yeah. And it's like the Jodie stuff that was recorded a long time ago. Lonely No More is like they've been putting out these small little things that nobody's going to buy and nobody cares about, right? For some reason, Starcots they probably recorded a while ago, and I stopped listening to that, and I'm really not interested in the David Bradley one.
Just a couple of Doctor Who releases there on Unbound and the.
Right.
And there's a couple of audio books.
And it's not even that Unbound, right? This is the one that interests me the most, but I got enough Doctor Who. I don't really need to go looking for this, right? So the audio novels. I might get the Companion Chronicles. But yeah, you see, look, it's much lighter now. It's and as the year goes on, right, you'll see there's less and less and less, right?
It's conspicuous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably a wise strategy, though. They've simply been putting out too much for anyone to keep track of, not just financially to keep up with, but to actually literally to keep track of. Never mind listening to. I mean, anybody who's a Big Finish completist now, like I used to be, I have no idea how they manage it. No idea.
Again, they've successfully made their content an impenetrable wall that you can't get into, right? It screams out it needs to be a streaming service, right? Because it's just not working.
I think each time I go to the website, I think that it hits me more starkly that the mode of delivery is becoming outdated.
It's very outdated.
And it could be the case that the BBC won't let them get in front of innovation.
Well,
that may well be the case.
I believe that they charge a lot more they make it unprofitable for streaming, right? They can that's how their contract is based on downloadable content. That's why.
If you think about it, if you think about it, mate, Big Finish has historically been, considering their confines that they're marketing a niche product to a niche audience, they've actually been quite bold and creative and innovative. I struggle to use the word pioneering, but they've been bolder than a lot would have been.
Well, they used to be pioneering.
In some of their innovations.
Look, everything went to shit with the Jodie years. Like, just everything went to shit in those years.
That's true.
It's like...
that is true.
And like up until then, they were pioneering. Like Dalek Empire was awesome, right? They have a lot of really great. Gallifrey was a great series as well. They had a lot of very, very good series. And again, it's just it's they went woke, right? I tell you, they went woke. Speaking of woke, there's something I found interesting in Doctor Who magazine. Where is it? I saw there's one article this month by Beth Axford, who I normally take the piss out of and roast, right? Because she's a very modern fan, right? Yeah. In that she's somewhat excruciating. So she wrote this article on news resolutions. She strikes me as somebody who is living through the collapse of her worldview, right? And is trying to reevaluate her life.
Right. I've rather warmed to Beth Axford over the last few years as she's grown up. I think when you read her talking about Doctor Who and talking about Doctor Who fandom, she's a lot more open, less judgmental, less ideological than she used to be, and so a lot more relatable. People grow up, don't they?
Yeah, that's exactly right. People grow up. You're 100% correct there. But yeah, so what's the next big thing coming out of Doctor Who? I guess it's the season 21 Blu-ray, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that's coming in March, I think.
Yeah, I think it's March, first couple of weeks of March, right? I think new on Bleeding Cool. 13th Doctor in years. I like, however much they try to make them like the real Doctor, it's just never going to happen. Right? I just don't think it'll ever really happen.
I was waiting to be informed by some fans here and there. I thought, well, over the coming months now, they're on Big Finish, and that release pattern that they've got with that series makes sense. So I thought, well, over time, the fans of Jodie Whittaker will reveal themselves and their verdict on these brand new stories, and we'll know whether there's any kind of buzz around them or not. And do you know what? There's some around the Eccleston stuff to some degree, but it is mostly based on nostalgia, and people say, "Oh, I feel like I'm 10 years old again listening to this stuff." But when it comes to the Whittaker and Mandip Girl stuff, I haven't heard a dicky bird. I'm not even convinced.
It's radio silence. There's nobody effusing about them whatsoever.
Nobody's slagging them off. Nobody's raving about them. So
nobody's listening to them. That's my theory.
That's the conclusion you've got to reach. But the fan base, the people who were died in the war, what was it? Thasmin Till I Die types 3 or 4 years ago. It turns out they're all off doing other things. They've probably thrown away their silly flags, and maybe and started to live a proper adult life by now. Yeah. And so they haven't given it a passing thought since, or they've admitted to themselves that it was shit all along and not really worth going back to.
I find that of most Jodie fans now, they've really grown up, and they're just not as awful as they used to be.
I haven't spoken to any, so it wouldn't be fair for me to say.
I mean, having said that, you
around
were
that brand
this week, weren't you? Or was it last week? You were targeted this by what I like to call toxic fandom.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was sort of. Yeah, I mean, by one fan in particular who seemed a little bit bored for a few hours. And again,
he did an hour video on a 20-minute segment from your channel. And again, you were talking about how Russell Davis is a bit of a degenerate sleazebag, and how it's become that.
I wouldn't say that's what we were talking about, but I think we were talking about the mixed signals that certain decisions send out to the audience who are waiting for any word we can on the series' future, specifically casting. For him to make some of the calls that he had.
Especially having your toy boy boyfriend who's like 30 years younger than you play the Doctor on the set of Doctor Who for no apparent reason. Other than he gets a good blow.
My position, because obviously the segment that we put out a few days ago, that was recorded quite a time, 6 or 7 weeks ago. And it was before we knew that they were in a relationship. So it changes things slightly. But in my view, if anybody, there's very little at the moment. Doctor Who is on its arse. There's very little social currency left in the brand. It really is in a bad shape. And so for a key creative involved in it, who's synonymous with that brand, to be spending what remains of that currency on basically getting himself laid, I think that personally, I find that sleazy. If it was a heterosexual man, if it was a heterosexual man doing it, I'd feel exactly the same.
Again, imagine exactly that relationship, but it was with Bob Iger and Sydney Sweeney, right? You'd be like, that's gross, right? You would be like, oh, leave her alone.
I mean, I've got nothing to say about them being in a relationship together, because I want people to be, in all honesty, I want people to be happy. And if two people can establish a loving, lasting relationship, then all power to them. But I would argue that video in that context came across as incredibly sleazy to me personally. Yeah. And so, you have to speak as you find things.
But again, they're not establishing a firm, loving relationship. They're fucking.
I don't know either of them, do they? So
okay.
It's not
it seems to be as a close, loving relationship as the Doctor wanted to have with Rogue in whatever that shitty episode was called.
I have to, I genuinely, people's relationships don't interest me. People's whatever they're doing. I mean it. I wish any couple every success. And age is nothing but a number. All that kind of thing. Age, race. All that sort of thing.
I think age is a big deal. Honestly, I think, again, if it's a 65-year-old guy and a 25-year-old girl, he's He clearly just wants to fuck, right?
What I'm saying, because I don't know any of them. I mean, if a child of mine, one of the boys or the girls, said, I'm seeing somebody who's 35 years my senior, I'd probably take them aside and say, and you know what? I've got mates of Russell's age and older. And if one of them told me they were seeing somebody 35 years younger, I'd probably quietly inquire.
What's up with that, mate? Yeah,
are you okay? This is all well and good, but I'd like to think that my close friends would appreciate my honesty. But what I'm saying is, because I don't know those two gentlemen, it's none of my business, and therefore they're unlikely to ask my advice or emotional support, and therefore that is where I don't comment on that sort of stuff because it's nothing to do with me.
But again, it did look sleazy. There's just no two ways about it.
The initial scenario looked incredibly sleazy, and again, if it was Stephen Moffat with a 20, I can't remember how old this guy is, but with a young actress who was sort of hungry to get to, we'd all be saying the same thing. Exactly, same thing.
Yeah, and again, think of all the pictures of Shooty hanging off Russell T Davies. All of that was just completely inappropriate. I'm sorry, it just was. Anyway, I never read anything into that personally. But I find those. I've never thought about it. But I tell you what, when I see those pictures now we're on the other side of the era, I find them nauseating because they were so confident and so. I know it's so wrong.
Yeah. So now I can't stand those pictures because to me it reminds me of it's not even a case of wasted opportunity, but of adversarial programming and mean-spiritedness, and it's just all so sour.
Right. That's what can you do. People are strange. Anyway, what do you have on tonight?
What do I have on tonight? I am sporting a matching. Although this isn't. It looks black on screen. It is a navy blue hoodie. Oh, okay. Gotcha. You mean this? I'm buying myself some time to show you this later on the Type 40 channel while we gear up to return. Where are we? To the live arena. That is YouTube and Rumble. You've got this. So this is good stuff. This is myself and a good friend of mine and returning guest Keith Barnfather from Real Time Pictures. I love Keith. He's such a laugh and a genuine fandom legend.
He's every time I see him on, I've never met him. Every time I see him being interviewed, he just seems like a fun, nice guy.
He's a very nice man, very easygoing, very funny. But he's also, and because he's so funny and so enjoyable to speak to, when he drops out the knowledge that he's got about filmmaking, working in television and drama, you think, you almost forget how accomplished a man like Keith is.
It's very easy. I mean, it's not like he just started doing. Mythmakers is old now. That came. It was in the 90s. He started with.
Yeah,
that.
we talk about that. Yeah, he started in the 80s, and we talk about that's what this is. This is him speaking about his path through that. But Keith organised. He's one of 2 or 3 people who organised the very first Doctor Who conventions ever anywhere. That was him. He was there, and there's pictures in this on the enhanced video edition on YouTube. This is already up on the podcatcher, so you can get this on. If you prefer to hear us on Audible and Spotify and not look at us, and who could blame you? You can already hear this out on all the pod feeds and Apple and all that kind of thing. But the enhanced video edition is exclusive to YouTube and Rumble. It's coming from 8 p.m. tonight with lots of nice pics and things.
All right, that's cool. I mean, I'd love to see if he did like Mythmakers, but on something like the New Adventures, using AI to illustrate things. Yeah, let me check. I saw a new thing I thought was very good. Where is this AI clip? Oh, I'm getting a little wizzy was. It's trying to open up the drive. Oh, here we go. Doink. Where was it? Here. I really like this. It just gets better and better. I mean, they really do. Let me try to play that again.
He even moves like a Cyberman, doesn't he? It's nothing looking like one.
I mean, I'm really getting to the point where we're not far away that I will be able to make my own Garn and insert it into what's the name of that story with the Lazars? Terminus, right? Because that's the only thing that really mars that story. That Garn costume, it just distracts me, right? It just really distracts me. I think we're close to there. I think we're close to being able to maybe even making a watchable version of Delta and the Bannerman, right? I got to get an AI version of Delta, right? And then change the egg completely and the baby coming out and turning into a little girl and change her into a different little girl who can probably act better, right? And change those costumes. But I think they're saying they edit it down into a 45-minute episode. You probably got something good there.
I have to object to this conversation on religious grounds.
You are a big fan, right? A big fan of
I'm a Seventh-day Delta apologist.
I know. Honestly, but I'm really enjoying the new effects and certain, like when they open, especially the studio bound stories, when they do planetscapes, and it just makes it so much.
Yeah, I love all that. It's very, very, very clever. I want to remind you as well as me talking to Keith tonight there on the channel, we've also got this coming up on Saturday. If you can still beam in for this, Rabbi, the surprise return of Warp Drive Live.
I am. What time are we doing this?
7 p.m. UK time. So when's that for you? 1 in the morning?
9 p.m. for me. That should be fine.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a laugh. We've got a nice crew, an able crew, a sober crew, maybe some of them.
I don't know. At 7 p.m. on Saturday, probably not. But we'll see what happens.
I can't vouch for that now. I've said it. So don't hold me to that. But they will be present. They'll be beaming in from various locations. So come and join us for the surprise return of Warp Drive Live this Saturday, 7 p.m. UK time, with myself and the Rabbi.
Wait. When is the Starfleet Academy coming out?
The 15th, I think it begins.
Oh fuck me. I know. I'm so not looking forward to watching it. Is it like a 2-episode premiere?
You know what? I haven't looked. Maybe I should. I'll have looked by Saturday, everybody. I'll have looked by Saturday.
Okie dokie. Fine. I think I better go and gird my loins and prepare for Saturday then. That I will.
Get some of it.
Barely. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.